Why artists obsess over the human body. From ancient sculpture to modern photography, there is one subject artists never seem to abandon. Not landscapes, not architecture, not even abstraction, but the human body. From the earliest carvings in stone to the most advanced digital photography, artists keep returning to it, studying it, idealizing it, distorting it, and sometimes breaking it apart. So the question is simple, but deep. Why? Why does the human body remain the most persistent obsession in art history? The answer begins long before galleries and museums existed. In ancient civilizations, the body was not just form, it was meaning. Egyptian sculpture presented the body as eternal, stable, almost frozen in time. Greek art, especially in the classical period, shifted toward ideal proportions, symmetry, and mathematical harmony. The body became a model of perfection, something that suggested order in a chaotic world. This idea reaches one of its most powerful expressions in works like Michelangelo's David. Here, the human body is no longer just a subject. It is an argument. Michelangelo doesn't simply show David as a biblical figure. He shows potential energy inside human flesh, the tension before action, the intelligence within muscle, the psychological weight of decision. The body becomes a stage where emotion and power are silently performed. And this is where something important happens in art history. The body stops being only physical. It becomes psychological. It becomes symbolic. It becomes human in the deepest sense. As centuries pass, artists begin to push against idealization. The Renaissance celebrates beauty, but also tension. Baroque art introduces drama, twisting bodies, emotional strain, movement caught mid-collapse or mid-revelation. The body is no longer calm. It is alive in conflict. Then modernity arrives, and everything fractures. Industrialization, war, photography, and urban life change how humans see themselves. The body is no longer a stable ideal. It is vulnerable, fragmented, and often alienated. Artists begin to ask different questions. Not, what is the perfect body? But, what does it feel like to inhabit a body in this world? This shift becomes especially visible in photography. A figure like Francesca Woodman explores the body not as a fixed object, but as something dissolving into space, blurred, hidden, disappearing into walls, shadows, and time itself. Her images do not present the body as confident or complete. Instead, they suggest fragility, presence, and absence existing at the same time. In modern photography, the body becomes even more complex. It is styled, filtered, staged, documented, and performed. It is both real and constructed. It exists in the tension between authenticity and image-making. The camera does not just capture the body, it reshapes it. So why this obsession across all these eras? Because the human body is the closest thing we have to a universal language. Before words, there is gesture. Before ideology, there is posture. Before identity, there is sensation, pain, pleasure, tension, rest. The body is where life becomes visible. Artists are not just drawn to anatomy. They are drawn to meaning embedded in anatomy. A bent back can suggest labor or grief. A turned face can suggest shame, defiance, or intimacy. A hand can hold more narrative weight than an entire landscape. And unlike ideas, the body cannot fully be separated from truth. It reveals limits. It reveals aging. It reveals mortality. That is also why artists return to it again and again. It resists control. You can idealize it, distort it, abstract it, but you cannot fully escape it. Even when art moves into abstraction, the body remains underneath the structure, echoed in curves, balance, tension, rhythm. So the obsession is not really about beauty alone. It is about understanding what it means to exist inside something so fragile, so temporary, and yet so expressive. The body is both subject and mirror. It shows us what we are, and what we cannot fully explain. That is why artists never stop returning to it. Because as long as humans exist, the body will remain the most complex image we have ever tried to understand.